see, that was the end of my flight for this particular day. The rain clouds kind of snuck up on me, and right as I landed, I had to bundle up and get put away pretty quick. But we're going to get out for a solo flight. The fields are pretty wet. We've been having a lot of rain, so I decided I'm gonna launch from the road. Wind wasn't coming right down the road. It was a little bit switchy, but so I got a little bit of a crosswind launch, and the winds are pretty light, so you got to run at it pretty good. And my first launch, this is it. The camera didn't stabilize the image very well, but you can see I overcompensated. The crosswind was coming from the right, and I purposely compensated so the wing would start left a little bit. But as you can see, it started a lot more left than I could manage and end up aborting that launch. So we got set up for a second. I got set up for a second flight, and I compensated again. I just tried to not do quite as much. You'll see as I take off, I pull the wing up and started out a little bit left, which was partially intentional. I didn't quite mean to get it as far left as I actually did, but you see I get a good little run, and here I get a little left to center line, but run under the wing, pull a little bit of right brake, and get it up into the air. Another thing to watch out for these road launches, if you haven't done much of it, is unless it's a really old road or something, a lot of them have the reflective little pods or pads that are basically glued down to the road surface, and those guys are an easy snag point for your lines, especially my unsheathed lines, the uppers. So that's one thing of the road launch you got to watch out for. Here I am, got up and having a little fun turning. Basically got some altitude, and I'm just wanting to get down low for some low flying. One thing I would say is this is about as aggressive as I'll do. I'm about 250 or so flights. I think I'm a couple shorts flight of that, but in probably a solid intermediate status, hopefully. Maybe progressing beyond that, I don't know, but I can kind of hear Jeff going. I listened to him in he's kind of the guy that wrote the PPG Bible. Listened to him in a webinar the other day talking about how pilots, probably about my experience level, start just yanking, turning left, turning right, pulling the brakes, and don't realize the kind of danger they get themselves into with really aggressive maneuvers. So that's something I'm trying to hold back on. Again, I don't have a desire to be a big acro pilot. This is what I really just love to do, get down flying low. You can see kind of an example of how wet the ground is. Construction area, cruise down the road. Basically, if I had an engine out, I'd much rather land in the road than I would in that muddy mess, but there's always some construction workers out. Buzz those guys and a few folks walking around. Flight, I'm going to take a little different path than I normally do. Normally I'll head off either south or west from the place my most popular launch site. Here I'm heading a little more to the east. Lots of open fields, good outs for landing in case of engine out, but it's a little more populated, not the giant cotton and rice fields, but still plenty of places to kind of play around and cruise down low. And of course, one thing you always want to watch out for flying low through an area where there's some cattle is trying not to spook the cattle. I think I do a pretty good job of that. And if I remember right on this particular flight, I think some of the ones off in the distance saw me and thought it was feeding time. So they seemed to basically start coming towards me. I assume the rancher that has them must probably uses an ATV or a gator or something, and the sound of my paramotor, I assume, sounded like him coming to feed them some cubes or something. But always good to get out and buzz around and but be careful not to disturb them. Tough to see in this camera, but off to the right, I spotted some rain, and it basically decided I needed to head back to my launch point, my landing zone, right away. So set the trims out and headed for home. Wanted to get away from the rain. I knew there was some in the area, not really any storm clouds, just a light rain, but want to keep the wing dry, so time to head home. As I got back, I basically outran the rain, I think, and or maybe it wasn't coming exactly the way I was going. Got a little sunnier, decided, hey, I got a little bit more time, so what we got to do is cruise along the road, cruise along some green grass, and enjoy a few more minutes of flight. We can't let our construction buddies go unvisited. Got to say them a big hello. And somewhere about right here I realized, okay, my playing time's over. Those clouds are approaching, the rain's getting a little closer. It was time to get on the ground before I got caught in the rain putting things up. Pretty fast landing. There really wasn't much wind to speak of, so I was taking my time, just putting the wing away initially until I felt a few raindrops. Somewhere about this point where the wind started picking up, you can see it on my wing, and the rain was about to hit. I kind of go from taking my time to being in a big hurry to get the wing out of the raindrops starting to fall. At about this point where the raindrops were starting to hit me and I get in a big hurry. So we'll get the wing put away out of the rain, and after that, the other thing to take care of is got a cover I'm going to put on my motor. The only reason I really cover the motor is I've got a reserve chute on the side of it, and you don't want that to get wet. So get it covered and basically drive home slow. Don't want to drive fast with the cover on my motor because it catches a lot of wind and puts a lot of stress on the cage. So drive home pretty slow, 20, 25 miles an hour. It's only a couple miles. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.